それで M という武道大会を行うことにした。強さに自信のある者はどんどん参加してほしい。楽しみにしているぞ。
Now we have perfection. We have achieved our final form. Now, we are in the Cell Games arena, and I am going to drop a lot of videos on this cell. We're going to get an in-depth look at this guy at 55%. I am very interested in seeing this guy's performance. I think the interesting thing that I want to talk about immediately, I want to address this immediately, is that this is a character you do actually want to get the revive off instantly. So putting him in slot 1 there seems a little fishy, it seems a little wonky, but you know, you really do want to prioritize getting his guard and damage reduction as soon as possible. You also want to get his active skill as soon as possible. There's no reason not to proc it since he's getting, you know, extra stats, more key, right? I think Goku's is a little bit better because he has healing in his as well, and it's just turn 3. It's 4th turn. I think it's what, 4th turn from this guy's appearance, I think, and I'm not sure if it's another condition. We'll see. We'll see when we read his passive, his kit. But we do get the revive right here, so let's tune in. Alright, squad. Now, let's see what we're working with. Evo Blue Vegeta is definitely going to be able to work. I think this team is one of those teams where you're going to be able to do a mix and match. It doesn't have to be a full extreme team. It does not have to be a full super team. I think this is one of those unique cases where Cell, if you do decide to run him as a leader, you could run whoever you want on this team. You could bring a bunch of good units. Now, the easy A's for AGL Cell, the easy A for Gohan and Goku, they don't drop until April 3rd. So we still have a couple of more days until that drops. I'm not even sure when the red zone drops. I'm not sure when all of these extra things drop. I am expecting like a part 2 LR. So I don't really suggest you going and wailing on this cell, especially because this cell is not like Kid Goku. I don't think this cell is as good as Kid Goku. Kid Goku is on a tier of his own, but I do think this guy is pretty formidable, pretty good, and he can work. The number one thing I'm mostly concerned about is that, you know, running both cells, once you do get the revive with one cell, the other cell, he does get extra buffs. But he's not going to get the guard. He's not going to get the extra 15% as well. So, and that 30% extra damage reduction is only on super. So, effectively, Cell only has 20% damage reduction. Keep that in mind. This second Cell that can't revive for the entire fight is only going to have 20% damage reduction. No guard, no nothing. So, if he gets hit by a super, understand. He's garbage. He's trash. He's absolutely buns. He's garbage. Okay, so right here, this is his active skill, right? Key +2 attack and defense, 35% up. We will get this in this video. It does look good, right? So this is his passive. I guess the best thing I can do is pull up the English version. Hold on, give me a second. Okay, feel free to pause the video right here. You can read his basic effects. I'll just go over the things that matter the most. I think the number one important thing is that revive right there that you see at the very bottom. The second thing is the extra damage reduction. He does build up defense every time he attacks. He does get a multiplicative 150% attack with 12 key, but that's not really enough. That's not what we're really looking for. I mean, he does off his entrance gets an extra additional, which is really good. He has just a 50% chance to crit as well, and his domain does last for 5 turns, and it activates immediately. All right, so the second part of this guy's passive or kit, this is the little extra down here, is, you know, it says damage reduction rate of 15%, guards all attacks. That's going to be very, very, very important, and there, of course, is the condition. All right, so hopping back over to Mr. Cell here. I think he's going to be pretty formidable. I don't count him out. I'm not going to call him like the big bad wolf. I'm already seeing people say, yeah, Cell's not the greatest, this, and that. I think Cell is a dog. I do think he's absolutely an amazing unit. I just think both of them bringing 2 cells is not the move, right? I'll do this for this showcase, but when you come back to the next video and I'm not running double cell on his team and I'm putting him on a better team that's suited more for this unit, don't be shocked. Don't be surprised. That is the playstyle. I'm pretty sure other content creators are going to do the same thing. Of course, we're going to make content of him, you know, doing both, like double cell, right? But that's not going to come until those EZAs drop. This team is wonky. Look at this team. Look at the setup. This is the best I could come up with, right? I did not bring EZA Tech Cell, and the reason I didn't bring him is because he is too good of a unit to bring. You will be focused on EZA Tech Cell the whole time at these crazy ass attack stats, him doing additionals, healing. You would be looking at EZA Tech Cell like he's a god, not paying attention to STR Cell. That is literally the only reason he is not on the team right now. I want you to focus on his video, on him. I'm not going to be in the other Dokkan tubers, you know, while the other units on the showcase is just looking absolutely spectacular. And then you have the 55% unit looking like a 55% unit, right? I do want to get him his limelight. We will do like 100% showcase sometime soon. But I mean, so far so good. I guess we should just pop the active. Yeah, let's lock in. Let's turn the volume all the way up.
準備運動はこれぐらいでいいだろう。
Now, you cannot tell me that's not a gorgeous active skill. That's a pretty decent, neat active skill. I'll give Cell that, right? I'm going to put him in slot 1 just to see what he can do, but I mean, he's not a slot 1 character. Yeah, I thought so. So we'll just come back into a different phase. I'm not really too mad at this. I did want to sort of see if he had any slot 1 potential, and the case is no. I'll be right back. So, what should we do here? This is a different event. This is the Hit Assassin event. Now, understand that I'm doing this randomly. It's not like a real set event I can go to. Now, this is being recorded within the first 2 hours of Cell's release, so there's not really a lot of Cell friends, so I literally have to just go into random events, and whichever event pops up with Cell, that's the event I'm going into. It took like 3 minutes to get in between parts. Damn. So we get the revive. This is the same exact scenario as the last event. So we get Cell's revive immediately, and that's good. You do want to get this as soon as possible. This is not one of those revives. Like it's gonna be entertaining to the viewers, but to me, what I mean by not one of those revives, it's not like Evo Blue Vegeta where it's like a wide coverage. You want to save it for as long as possible. You really want to use it when it's the best, right? It's never really the best opportunity to die. You never want to actually proc the revive, but when you need it, it's useful, right? Cell, you just want to die. Just hurry up. Put him in slot 1 if you need to. Kill him immediately. This is the first time we've ever seen a revive. I don't even think it was what that would, like Fat Boo, you did sort of want to stack up a little bit and then sort of wait it out. I don't know it. Fat Boo, I don't know. He might have like the same effect as Cell, but I don't know. With Cell, I just want to just throw him in slot 1 as soon as I get him. I don't even want to waste any time with his revive. If I can get him to die immediately, that's probably what I'm going to do. Because Cell is just a dramatically different character with that revive active, right? The other Cell is going to be very... Chat, I don't want to say this because it's like, I don't want to demean him and say he's bad at 55%. Because Cell is obviously going to be performing very, 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 very good in this video, right? But it's the other Cell that we're bringing who does not get that guard and extra damage reduction. He's just going to look so pitiful. He's the perfect. Yeah, you definitely don't want to run double of him. He's like someone you bring back by yourself. Well, like, you know, EZA characters are a little bit different. They sort of fall into one category. obviously.
これが俺の全て
This
だ
is a dope. Alright, chat. Let's see. Cell. I guess we could keep him in slot 1. It's not like he's going to perform very bad in slot 1. Now, he's not a... Yeah, he does not depend. He doesn't get any extra buffs in slot 2 or slot 3 or slot 1. Yeah, he's one of those. I just took a quick look at his passive again. He is not one of those characters. So you could effectively, if he's not getting attacked immediately, put his ass in slot 1 if you want, right? He doesn't have like any extra damage reduction in slot 1. I do like Kid Goku for the simple fact that he's getting his damage reduction and guard pretty much out the gates with his entrance, or if you activate his active, and that lasts for 7 turns, right? And by time 7 turns is up, he's built up, he's got the guard, he's gonna be sitting pretty in slot 1 and still tanking these hard-hitting supers, right? I mean, that Kid Goku is very phenomenal, like, and he's got that 22% chance to just dodge everything that procs often, very weirdly often, and very weirdly at the time you need it the most, right? So Kid Goku, I think he's just a little bit better. That's why I'm bringing him up. I think Kid Goku's just slightly better than this guy. And on his 55%, I was so blown away that I did like a 50-minute video, like, because I was like, yo, Kid Goku is top tier, right? Like, I didn't like reading Kid Goku. You could click. The fan base seen it. Like, everybody on X was writing him off. Like, oh, Kid Goku, he seems very mid. Oh, why? Look at his passive. It's very short and meager. And then you get him and you use him. And it's like, what the hell? He doesn't look like anything on paper. Like, paper, you can read him and say, I'm going to question him a little bit. But then you use him in game and he's a total different monster. I'm not getting quite that same vibe from Cell. He's exactly what I was actually expecting, right? He's definitely going to look a little bit better and a little bit more impressive when we get, you know, better characters than what we're running. Like, look at this setup. Like, look at this. Chat, look at this. Bojack? Bojack? Like, come on. Like, I mean, it's not to say that this Bojack is bad. He's just not top tier, you know, upper echelon. He's not the cream of the crop. I can tell you that for certain. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty pissed off that Lord Slug is not on this team. I really wanted badly Lord Slug to be on this team, but he is not a tournament participant, and for some reason he's not on Worldwide Chaos. I don't know why he's not on Worldwide Chaos, but he's not on Worldwide Chaos. So we're gonna have to figure out what to do when it comes to that setup, because I definitely did want to see Cell with Slug. Is he on Slug's team? That's probably what I'm gonna look up after I'm done recording this video. When I finish doing this, uploading this, editing, I guess I could do it in my free spare time. But when I get a chance, I'm gonna look at Slug's leader skill. It's demonic power something and something else. I literally don't remember. But Cell is obviously not on demonic power. He's an android, so it's like, what the Slug, does he work on stuff? Or maybe somebody in the comments let me know. I mean, maybe somebody will comment and let me know if he's on Slug's team, because if he's on Slug's team, then I'm not really concerned. I do want to get Slug in with this Cell. I want to see the performance of all of these older gen characters. Like, you know, this Bojack right here, he's not really a character I can really scream and say, yeah, he's really, really good. Even though when he first came out, the EZA dropped, he was very good in that meta, right? Like against Golden Frieza 17, he was astounding, actually. He was pretty goddamn good. But, you know, Anniversary Power Creep is just like, I remember when Majin Vegeta came out and I was surprised. I remember when Beerus came out, his EZA, and it was like, oh my god, what a big deal. But like, people aren't even talking about Beerus. Remember when Beerus dropped and he was like busted as hell, right? But it's like, even he's good, but I can't call him upper echelon. Not when we have Super Vegito, not when we have these dogs in the game now. I can't seriously say, oh yeah, you know, he's very top tier EZA Beerus, yes. No, I just can't do it, right? I can't. It's just crazy, the power creep difference. It is just genuinely insane. And now these TURs are, you know, sort of competing with the LRs. Like I was sort of holding my breath, but like, nah, Kid Goku is definitely like a top 10 unit in the game. Like you can't, I'm not just making that shit up either. Like I'm not talking out of my ass right there. I'm not, I promise. Kid Goku, I can get him on a top 10 list. Let me know if you want that top 10 list. How about that? You let me know if you want that top 10 overall units in the game, and watch how I'm gonna have him. He's gonna be in that top 10 list. Trust me. And it's not gonna be like, oh, I had to try and force him or figure it out. He's gonna be like number 7 or number 8, right? I mean, we've got the most dominant units in the game. We know who those units are. Maybe it actually would be a little bit closer, because now I'm thinking about it and it's like, boy, that sounds sort of crazy. Like, no, because you have Vegito. Hold on, let's get this active skill is just so good. Like, look at this animation. It's like, God, Lee, they cooked. Woo. They cooked so hard. But yeah, I might actually do like an overall top 10 list. You know, I'll probably add that to my little bag. But let's get back to Cell. So now that we're going against Frost, he's not orb dependent. I'm so used to running that EZA Tech Cell, right? He's like a little nuker, and you know, each orb he gets more defenses, more offenses. Buhan right here is actually gonna get hit pretty hard. Yeah, and we get stunned. Okay, but we do live, which is important. And I'm pretty sure we can heal with that Frieza. That Frieza reversible exchange into Goku. I think that Goku can actually heal. So we're going to pop his active next turn. And of course, I'm going to play the music and let that go in the background, because not many people are using this Frieza. So, you know, any excuse to bring this Frieza in Goku, it was like, hell yeah, he's on this team. Like, yeah, let me go ahead and bring him. I did pull him for Anniversary. I mean, he's a recent unit. Why not use him? He is really a really good unit when you get to the Goku portion of his card, which is only turn 4. I see a lot of people playing it like, oh, it's so bad, like Frieza's unbearable, like he's the worst LR. No, the worst LR from the Anniversary is this Evo Blue Vegeta. Like, not even a throw shade or hate on this guy, but he's definitely the worst of the bunch. Don't make me make a hot takes video. I'll do it, right? I don't think that's the hot take either. Like, Evo Blue Vegeta is the worst out of all of them. Maybe. I'm not even gonna dare and say it. I was gonna point at Gohan's direction, but no, Gohan's definitely better than Evo Blue Vegeta. Right, yeah. Let's pop this.
準備運動はこれぐらいでいいだろう。
All right, chat. What do we have? What can we do? No pun intended, because I play Legends and I've been using Do a lot. I don't know why. What was the point of that? Like, bro, oh my God. Well, god damn it, it better heal, because that's what he did.
私の気を少し分けてあげたんですよ。これで貸し借りなしですよ。
Alright, so locking back in. We could just keep Goku in slot 1. That he did heal, indeed. Now, he has to collect a Rainbow Orb to have the guard. Is it the guard? Yeah, I think it's the guard. He's going to have the damage reduction. Or is it the damage reduction that he gains? Not too familiar with this unit right here, but he's really good once he comes out, right? That's what I know, right? He supports, he Rainbow Orb changes as well on his active. He heals. This Goku is really solid once you can get to him, right? Really, really good. I mean, Cell so far, I mean, he's been getting these additionals. And, you know, these numbers aren't, you know, the worst for 55% Link level 1. And he's critting on some of them. I mean, yeah, a triple. What was his defense? His defense is pretty high at this point, too. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So what I'm thinking about doing is, like I said, I'm not trying to keep this video crazy long. I guess we'll go against Hit. We'll do a couple of turns. I'm not gonna try and like win the battle. I mean, if we die, we die. But I'm not gonna try and win this. This is just to really get a good look of what Cell can do. I'm not really seeing a major, massive, crazy difference in the performance of this Cell and the other Cell, and that's only because we're not going against real heat. As soon as we put him against this next phase, we're going to be able to test the waters out a little bit. Now, I think the pattern is that this guy supers immediately every turn. I mean, am I right in that assumption? I mean, this guy has just been constantly super attacked. Yeah, it's confirmed. This guy, he just super attacks slot 1 every turn and stuns. So he pretty much just locks down slot 1, which is pretty annoying. And that's not a weak super as well. We collected a lot of orbs that time with Buhan, so him taking that much damage is pretty crazy. And he got the full 3 rainbow orbs, so he had 66% damage reduction. I guess he didn't super first, but still, that's pretty crazy from this Frost. Did I call him Cooler? Was I calling this guy Cooler just now? I meant to say Frost. This Frost is not okay. Yeah. I mean, this is a pretty decent showcasing fight, though. I mean, this is definitely going a lot better than the first fight we went into. Yeah, for certain. I haven't even really mentioned this Golden Frieza 17 unit. I mean, he's just been here on the team. Like, he's literally just been on the team. Like, I'm really just now looking at him, like, realizing, bro, why is he on the team? Like, this is a very strange team if you're not thinking about just plastering this team with, like, you know, Extreme Tech Cell or like the Boos. Janemba's not on the category. Worldwide Chaos, nah, he's not. I mean, damn, bro. Imagine we could run like physical Janemba or Int Janemba, and that I would cook. I would like this guy alongside those units for certain, right? I guess I'll just put this guy in slot 1. He's gonna super immediately anyway, so we're actually gonna get another look of what Cell's attacks that is here. I mean, like I said, yeah, so far so good. I like this Cell. He's got decent numbers, decent defenses. I mean, 65% damage reduction card. He's pretty goddamn good. I mean, everyone can see this, right? I mean, I'm not just losing my mind, losing my marbles. He's effective, right? Like, we see what he can do even at 55% link level 1. He's really goddamn useful. The only concern is that I don't like the big difference between the revive Cell and the non-revive Cell. You know, Int Broly, it wasn't that bad because you weren't really seeing the revive at Int Broly's peak. When Int Broly first dropped, I still can't believe people used to think Int Broly was, you know, worse than Cell Max. People used to really believe Cell Max was better than Int Broly. Never was there a time where Cell Max was better than Int Broly the day Int Broly dropped. I'm just saying that because I'm an Int Broly defender, and I was one of the first people saying Int Broly's like one of the most busted units, right? And then it took so long for people to start seeing like, oh no, double Int Broly's team is actually really ridiculous. Oh, holy crap. But I said all that to say this. Int Broly's, when he revives, it's not a huge difference between him reviving and the other Int Broly. Like, you're just losing out on a little bit of support. You're missing, with this Cell, you're missing out on guard and damage reduction. That is a massive difference between the two Cells. Now, like I said, the way they could have made Cell better, this would literally make Cell a perfect unit. If Cell was to die, we died right here. Okay, that's interesting. I guess I'll talk about that in another video. All right, so now we're here on the wiki and we're gonna go over the unit. So as an initial showcase, I don't feel the need to show him anymore. I mean, that's plenty of enough. We went 10 turns in and stuff like that. We've seen what we need to see from Cell. Victory is not really what we need to see. This Cell, I think, is going to be pretty good even at 55%, but like I said, you do want to run this guy off his own team. I didn't really want to make that call this soon, but you don't want to run 2 of this guy is what I'm getting, right? Especially if it's 55%. Like, no, you definitely want to put this guy with his friends. We're going to have teams and setups for him eventually. We're going to get more units for this guy. The EZAs are literally upcoming. We're going to get a lot for this guy. So his team is going to be eventually good, but that other Cell is going to be on fraud watch. Even though he did decently in slot 2 and 3 this entire fight, We really were having problems with slot 1 issues, right? They need more slot 1 potential on this team, right? I guess like I said, I could have brought Tech Cell, but in order to show, you know, this Cell, I decided not to bring him this video. We will bring him next video. Tournament participants, worldwide chaos category, key +3 HP attack and defense 200%. And, you know, an extra 50% stats to androids in accelerated battles, which is pretty good. Accelerated battles especially is really good. That's a huge category. So this guy right here, tournament participants, you know, and he needs this at the start of the attacking turn. I don't like passives like this, but I mean, it is what it is, right? I would much rather it be just bring a tournament participant ally on the team or something like that. I hate when it's category ally at the start of the character's attacking turn. I hate that, but it is what it is. Like I said earlier, high chance of performing a critical hit, launches an additional super attack, creates the domain Cell Games Arena for 5 turns, and that buffs Android/Cell Saga units for 15%, and then another 15% for another category. We'll get into his domain shortly. His basic effects are key +2 and attack and defense 200%, damage reduction rate 20%, launches an additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super attack. And we were getting this a lot, right? We were getting this a lot. This extra great chance was coming through a lot. When there's a tournament participant category enemy, he gets a random attacking defense 50%. All right, that's very specific. Maybe we get like a red zone soon, and it's going to be like the Cell Games red zone. It'll be sort of interesting. When attacking with 12 or more key, attack 150%. More like just Cell Saga in general. Because yeah, the Cell Games literally is just him versus Goku, and then him versus Gohan, and then the Cell Juniors versus the Z Warriors. So actually, maybe like, you know, one of the like the last 2 fights, you know, are gonna have tournament participants, right? Because Cell, but we'll see. And then when attacking with 12 or more key, attack 150% up. And then for every attack performed, defense 30% up. So he builds up defense. That's why his defense was so high. Okay, so that 1 million defense at the start of turn actually makes sense now. This is what I forgot about. Him getting defense every time he attacks. This is exactly what I forgot about. Then we all know about his revive at this point. He gets an extra damage reduction rate 30% and temporarily when receiving a super attack. So this is only actually when receiving a super attack. I sort of forgot about this as well. And he gets the 15% and guards all attacks when this character is revived, right? Only one of them can get it, not both of them. It's only one or the other. It's sad, but that's just what it is. So essentially, you're going to eat all the normals for double digits. And then, you know, when the guy supers or when Cell gets supered, he'll get an extra 30%. This is only for the super, so... yeah, I mean, once he revives himself, he's going to be a good slot 2, slot 3 efficient character. He doesn't do much but be a good offensive and defensive character. He's not like really he's not a support character or anything like that. I think that's what we need. We need a better support than that banner unit 18, to just be blunt with you, because there are like that hit event we just went into, dodge nullifies, right? We can't even bring 18 into that event. So, why did you bring banner unit 18? Why did you bring dodge character? Because we can't dodge. Okay? I don't want to hear it, you baiters. All right, so this is Cell. I think Cell is a perfect unit. Well, no pun intended, but I think he's a selfish unit, so that holds him back. His domain is literally flawless. I love his domain. I love everything about him. As a matter of fact, that's what I forgot to do. Let's look at his domain real quick. Yeah, tournament participants category enemies and allies attack and defense 15%, or androids or Android/Cell Saga category enemies and allies attack and defense 15%. So basically all the androids should be up there. Like 16 should be up there, even though he's not like really a participant. He is in the Cell Games, right? He did sort of like he was there. I guess it wouldn't be 18 or 17 because they were absorbed. So yeah, tournament participants. So who it really would just be Cells and 16s who would get the full buff, right? Oh no, androids and Android/Cell Saga. No, so all the androids actually will get the buff. I misread that. Yeah, okay, so yeah. No, all the androids will actually get the buff because they're all on the Android/Cell Saga. So yeah, this unit is pretty phenomenal. I'm just gonna want to see him at this point on hit like by himself. I'm like you know, when the team really does pick up and get better with these EZAs, that's when I'll come back and revisit him on his own team. But until then, I think at 55%, he's pretty goddamn good.